What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Dion Washington for the $5 donation via the Cash App. He says, for Too Raw, listening to you, or have been listening to you for a long time. Salute to you, brother, man. Hope you enjoy the content, man. I try to put out videos be entertaining, or, as is the case of this particular video, to be informative about things going on in the world that I think that we all need to be in the know about. Okay, so this is important. Now, hopefully this doesn't occur, and there's only a 2% chance, according to the experts, of this occurring, but keep in mind, when the 2016 election was held, in 2016, the president's election, many odds makers gave Donald Trump only a 2 to 5% chance of winning on election day. So 2% could be very little, or it could be a lot, depending on how you look at it. I mean, look at it like this. Would you drink a soda that was delicious, right, for $1 million, but there was a 2% chance of you being poisoned if you drank it? Would you take that chance? But anyway, let's get to this. So a huge asteroid was recently discovered by scientists, and the asteroid is about 90 meters in circumference, and they named it 2024 YR4. And this asteroid is scheduled to be near Earth in the year 2032. Matter of fact, it's going to be so near Earth that scientists have given this asteroid a 2.2% chance of making striking the Earth, which is probably the highest I've seen them ever calculate any asteroid as far as having a chance at impacting Earth. I know we've talked about in the past Apophis, which is going to come very close to Earth in 2029, and then may actually strike Earth in 2036, excuse me. But they recently discovered this one, and this one is a little bit more of an imminent threat than Apophis. Now, they've talked about how because of that 2.2% chance of striking Earth, there need to be some type of contingency plan set just in case it becomes more and more apparent or imminent that the asteroid may actually strike Earth. Maybe something along a nuclear weapon, or nuclear weapons being used to try to redirect the asteroid. I don't know if they would destroy them, but maybe redirect the asteroid, or maybe some type of energy weapon, or some type of energy, some type of weapon that, or some type of device, I guess I should say, that could blast some sort of energy, maybe with kinetic energy at it, to get it to redirect somewhere else, so it's off of the course of striking Earth. Those are some of the things I've read that the experts say they could do to try to keep it from striking Earth. Now, this is the thing that I've read, okay? This asteroid would not be, it's dangerous, but it would not lead to the destruction of humanity. Like it's not the Chicxulub asteroid. That's the asteroid that struck Earth approximately 66 million years ago and led to the extinction of dinosaurs. That was a mass extinction event. 76% of all life was extinguished because of that asteroid. The only thing that survived were aquatic life, insects, and small rodents. Those small rodents, if you believe evolution, which I do, eventually evolved to mankind, which is us. Right. So if you look at it, the asteroid, the Chicxulub asteroid, actually led to our creation because at that point in time, the world was ruled by dinosaurs. And, you know, now, from what I've been able to read, this asteroid would probably have the energy or something equivalent to the asteroid that struck in Siberia back in June of 1908, the so-called Tunguska event. Now, luckily for that region in the world at the time, that asteroid, which actually didn't even strike the Earth, it exploded about, I don't know how many, maybe 100 meters up. I don't know. It didn't actually strike the Earth. It exploded before it actually impacted. That's why there's no impact crater where it exploded. But it caused a massive explosion, an explosion that could be heard all the way over, I think, in London, in Eastern Europe. It was heard. As a matter of fact, I think in Eastern Europe, windows were blown out. That's how large this explosion was. We're talking about in Siberia in Russia at the time. And but there were very little people that lived there. I think only 3 people were unalive. So many people didn't see what happened. I think almost nobody saw exactly what happened because where it actually occurred, nobody lived there except for animals and a lot of forestry, which was completely incinerated. So, in essence, the asteroid acted like a nuclear bomb before we even had a nuclear bomb. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that the idea for a nuclear bomb probably came from that Tunguska, or at least it sped up the idea of what you could do to create a nuclear weapon. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just guessing off of that. But anyway, had that occurred in a metropolitan area, hundreds of thousands, if not a million people, probably would have perished. Definitely hundreds of thousands. So we were lucky, or humanity was lucky at the time, that didn't occur in a major metropolitan area. Now, of course, that was 1908. This is 2032. The chances of something like that striking a mass rural area are much lower. But still, even if that's not a mass extinction level type asteroid, it's still going to do a lot of damage. Like, like we were reading, that would be the equivalency of getting hit by a major nuclear weapon. That's going to cause a lot of problems, obviously, a lot of damage. Probably, I don't know, depending on what city got hit or where it struck, probably something in the equivalency of thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people instantly perish. I don't know, billions of dollars of damage. Because we're talking about the impact crater, but then you have other things that happen after an asteroid strikes. You have the immediate impact, then you have the residual effect. You have the tsunamis, and you have the earthquakes that occur. Then, of course, when you have an asteroid strike, the crater, if it does actually strike the Earth, which more likely this probably would, You're going to have Earth fly up into the sky, or remnants of what was once Earth, rocks and molten rock, and all these things flying up in the atmosphere, coming back down. Probably, the atmosphere is going to warm up briefly. Then long term, usually when these types of things happen, there's almost always a nuclear winter. And I'm not saying it's a nuclear weapon, but usually when these things occur, when a comet strikes, or I'm talking about like a significant one, when a comet strikes or asteroid strikes of that magnitude, usually you see something resembling a nuclear winter occur, where the temperature globally drops. Now, I would think this would halt global warming, at least temporarily. It would reverse it a bit. Uh, Now, I'm not an expert. I'm just going off of what I've read before about these types of situations. So, and then, you don't want to talk about the environmental dangers. Uh, Something like that is just going to cause a lot of different problems. Things I can't even think of right now because I'm not an expert in that field, but it would be really bad for the economy, the global economy, in so many different ways that I'm not even thinking of right now. I can't help but think that it would screw up, for instance, the area where the explosion occurs or the impact occurs, or maybe even globally at that point. I would think there would be some sort of like, what do you call it? It's like a gas cloud. The gases that would come from the impact that would kind of create almost like a fog, or I guess the best word to put it is like a fog over the certain areas of the globe, which would screw with photosynthesis and mess up plant life. And when you start messing up the plant life and the plant cycle, then you start messing with the ecosystem, and there's a lot of different things that'll just be screwed up if that happened, man. It would be bad. So we definitely would need some sort of contingency plan in place just in case that asteroid did strike Earth. And that's one of the big fears I've always had when it comes to natural disasters, is an asteroid. Because we get hit with them all the time, but usually small, insignificant asteroids, or just moderately sized asteroids that might, knock out a window here or there or something like that. But every 100 years or so, we get one of these major ones that pose a threat. We've been lucky. We've been lucky on planet Earth for quite some time. We haven't really had a major one since 1908, the one that caused the Tunguska event. And if you guys are interested in that, I'd like for you to read up on that. Like I said, I'm real rusty with some of this stuff. But, yeah, this is something we got to look out for, definitely, in the future. Hopefully, nothing comes of it, but we always got to be prepared. Anyway, talk to you guys.